Skyram students, welcome back. Let us start second chapter, Sources of History, part 2. But before starting, let us take a short recap of previous video. First point was introduction. Introduction of sources of history. In it, we have seen a number of objects used by our ancestors and some inscriptions from past still exist, and even we saw how these sources help us to understand history. Then customs and tradition, folk arts and folk literatures, and historical documents which help us to understand history. And the next point we have seen was there are three sources of history: material sources, written sources, and oral sources. And today we are going to learn what is sources of ancient Indian history. The ancient period of Indian history extends from the Stone Age to the 8th century CE. Now students, 8th century CE means period from 701 to 800 with the Julian calendar, and the next one is information about the ancient period from 1500 BCE onwards can be derived from Vedic literature. Students, 1500 BCE onwards means the Vedic period lasting from 1500 to 500 BC, and it contributed the foundations of several cultural aspects of the Indian subcontinents. Now the next one is, in the beginning, the Vedas were not in the written form. Students, it means they were orally sung in poetic way. And the next point is, the ancient Indians had developed the technique of memorizing and reciting them. Students, the technique of memorizing and reciting them means Shravanam, Mananam and Kirtanam are the steps followed to memorize Vedas, because the pravs of Vedic mantras lies in the sound and vibration of chanting coupled with the right intonation and pronunciation. The next is, the Vedas were written down later on. The Vedas and the post-Vedic literature form an important source of ancient Indian history. Students, they were written on Burja Patra, means writing sheets made from the bark of the birch tree. And the next point, we have a large number of material, written and oral sources of Indian history. So let's see material sources. In material sources, first is artifacts. Artifacts means an object made by a person. In it, first is rock painting, pottery, then terracotta objects. Those are a type of baked earthenware. Beads means, students, they are motis which the women wear, moti ornaments. Then ornaments means jewelry. which the humans wear, especially the ladies wears. Then sculpture. Sculpture means Shilpakala, or the art of making an object from stone, clay. Then next is metal objects. Metal objects means objects or idols made from metals. Coins means sikke in Hindi, or money, you can say metal money. Weapons means such as hatiyar in Hindi, and we say as knife, then gun, they are weapons. And our next point is structural remains. So the structural remains, in it caves, then houses, stupas, rock cut caves, temples, churches, mosques, pillars. Now in this, caves means a large hole in a side of a hill or under the ground. And houses, you know, we live in it. Stupas. Stupas means in the memory of Buddha or Buddhist saints, a dome-shaped structures are made. Rock cut caves, for example, I can give you Ajanta Ellora cave situated in Maharashtra, Bhimbetka caves in Madhya Pradesh, Badami caves in Karnataka. Some pictures of material sources, coins, then ornaments, pot shed, earthen pot. And our next point is written sources. In it, the first is inscription on Harappan seal. Seals means sealings were used in ancient time for trade. They would be made on ceramic or the clay tags used to seal the bundles of goods. And the next is Vedic literature. Vedic literature means the four Vedas. They are the Rigveda Veda, the Samaveda, the Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda. Next point, manuscript, copies of Mahabharata and Ramayana. Now here, manuscript means a very old book or document that was written by hand. Then next, Jain and Buddhist literature. Now Jain literature. Jain literature means the Lord Mahavir's preaching was orally compiled by his disciples into many sutras. Sutras means text. This text are called Agam literature. Traditionally, these sutras were orally passed on from acharyas or gurus to the disciples for several centuries. And the Buddhist literature, Tripitaka. Tri means three, Pitaka means basket. Are Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. Some pictures of written sources: a copper plate, This is inscription on a rock, and this is Urja Patra. Means, as I explained you before, writing sheet made from the bark of a birch tree. Bujja is Sanskrit name of the birch tree. Birch trees are found in Kashmir. Next is oral sources. The Vedic, Jain and Buddhist literature of ancient India was preserved by oral tradition. Students, this means this literature was kept for the next generation. It is now available in the written form. This means, student, so it is now available in the written form. Even so, the oral tradition is still alive, means today also this oral tradition is alive. When oral composition are used for history writing, they are included in the oral sources. Means when they were used it for writing history, they included in the oral sources. Students, this is the picture of oral sources. Those are the small poems known as an OV and folk song. Next point, what precaution to be taken while writing history? First point, a written document cannot be said to be authentic just because it is old. Students, authentic means real or genuine. Means we cannot say that the document is real just because it is old. Now the next point, it needs to be examined critically as to who wrote it, why and when it was written. Means we have to test the document, that who wrote it, why and when it was written. Now the next point, the conclusions drawn on the basis of various genuine documents have to be cross-checked and corroborated with one another. Students, this means at the end we have to cross-check the supporting evidence with one another before writing history. Students, now in this period, what we have learned today? First is sources of ancient Indian history. Then the second was precautions to be taken while writing history. So you have understood what we have learned today. Now next we are going to do a small activity. What will you do when the following situation arises? First, you have found an old coin and the options will be A. Keep it with yourself. B. Give it to a museum. C. Give it to your parents. Yes, Now tell the answer. What shall be the answer? Yes, the answer is give it to a museum. Good. Now the next one. Second. When you visit a museum, what you do when you visit a museum? A. Will handle article in the museum. B. Will collect information about articles. C. Will play on the lawn in front of the museum. What you will do? Yes? Okay. And the answer is will collect information about articles. Now the next question we are going to say. State whether the following statements are true or false. You have to say only true or false. First, the information acquired by word of mouth is a written source of history. Now what will be the answer? Yes, right? And the answer is false. Now the next question. Question 2. Man used stone as well as metal plates for writing. And the answer should be true. Very good. Now the third one. The cave paintings are a part of written source of history. Yes, and the answer will be yes, false. Okay. Yes, students, I hope so you understood this chapter here, and let's meet in the next period of history. Till then, Sai Ram. Thank you.